I think the biggest thing that all that stood out to me was you talking about like the behavior change at the end of the day. We're trying to switch behaviors in life. That's what it all is, whether it's incorporating a meditation practice or a behavior of getting on prescriptions or off prescriptions, whatever it is, it's all behavior. One of the biggest things I love that you touched on was that it wasn't, okay, I'm stopping today and going 180 degrees, the exact opposite direction starting right now.
Right.
And I feel like in
Then you're setting up
fitness
for failure.
and wellness, that's far too much okay, I lived life one way specifically for however long, decades, most people, by the time they'll come to see people like you and I, right? They've lived decades, developing some of these things, and now they think, okay, I'm gonna stop my medication, I'm gonna start exercising, I'm gonna start meditating, I'm gonna eat perfectly, I'm gonna meet, and it's like, holy, that is, and then you wonder why they can do it for 4 weeks or 6 weeks, and then next thing you know, they're just crashed again, and it's like, you have no energy, you have no will, and you just want all the stuff that makes you feel better, and those are those bad behaviors, or I don't like the term bad, but just
yes,
like
those are the comfort foods and
low vibe behaviors,
low vibration behaviors.
Yep.
Correct. So I think what you're saying is you're setting yourself up for failure 100%. When you just do a 180-degree turn where you haven't done the prep work. Like I have been studying, I've been reading about energy work, I have been doing meditation. My friend Karen, thank you Karen if you're listening to this, taught me how to meditate years and years ago when my kids were in grade school.
Right.
And she taught me how to I can do a mala, using the mala, doing mantra. She taught me breath work. She taught me all that stuff, and then I built on that and read about it and kind of grew from there. But that was years in the making before I was ready to really make it a habit, a daily part. Because you can always dismiss something that you know is good for you, and you can say in your brain, I know. But until you make it a habit, it's just talk,
And changing habits, changing one habit is hard.
Yes.
Trying to change 20 at the exact same time is really, really hard. And one of the things I've always, taught with my clients and stuff, it's like, let's try one thing this week that we're going to be a little bit better at. So we're going to take an extra walk, or we're going to incorporate more vegetable, like one thing.
Right.
Instead of here's your brand new nutrition plan, here's your awesome exercise plan, it's 5 days a week. I mean, it's just like.
Right. No, you're really good at that. It's like let's do one thing, like put some broccoli on your plate. Like, would you like this vegetable? Yeah, what do you like? Oh, I like broccoli. Okay, put broccoli on your plate. Just try that.
Try that this week, even if it's just a couple times. You know what I mean? To start building these behaviors. Tell me how you approach this kind of stuff when you start working with a brand new client. I come in, I'm client Joe, I'm Lennon. How do you approach that with an individual?
With the nutrition piece?
Just the whole nourishment, the whole process, because that's really what we do here as in our professions. We're teaching exercise and nutrition and breathing and all these really great things. So just what's your kind of general process? Someone comes in, and just kind of take us through a little bit of that.
I think the key is when someone new comes, to make them feel comfortable, so that it's not throwing everything at them. You need to do this and you need to do that, because that takes you right back to, I'm setting you up for failure.
Right.
Because you can't do all those things. And even if you want to, you've set up your life, you have your routine and your rhythm. So I think it's first connecting with the person and letting them know that you're not a threat and that you're not expecting them to do all this stuff. It's what you said, maybe sort of address one thing. And if it might be a physical thing. I mean, also you have to listen to what your client is looking for. They may come in here and say, this hip has been sore for weeks and I just want to feel better. What can you do for me?
Right.
So I think that's important, addressing their needs in the moment.
Right.
And then if you see that there are other things that need to be addressed, if they trust you and they like you and they believe in you, you can slowly plant seeds.
Right.
And then as you plant seeds, something might grow. But it's a trust thing, and it's a comfort level, and knowing, you cannot psychologize somebody until they, know you and like you and trust you and open up to you.
Until they become show more of their vulnerabilities and know that you're going to be empathetic.
Right.
With those, I think that is super duper important. I love that, it's about the individual too, I think, right? You're going to have anyone walk through the door, and like you said, they could have, XYZ, hurting, dietary restrictions. I mean, you name where they are in their life.
Heart trouble,
everything,
anything.
Emotional trouble, just anything. And so I think it's really important when we're putting together stuff is to meet the person where they are and not just, this is the nutrition plan or this is the exercise plan.
Right.
No, let's develop the nutrition plan for you and the exercise plan for you and the wellness plan for you. And I think too often, and this is one of my biggest qualms with a lot of the online stuff that's out there, and why I really want to give voices to people who I know do it well, is that it's too much of the opposite. It's too much of the opposite. It's, this is a great workout for your full body, and do your legs this, and this is the exact macro meal plan, and it's just like, holy, that stuff is not realistic in my opinion. I think that's what a lot of the bigger fitness diet industry relies on too, though.
And look at the work you've done. I mean, I don't know, people who've known Lennon a long time know that he came from a place where he was very overweight, and you did it gradually. Like, how did you, you're the poster child for how to lose weight. How did you do it? What did you do?
You know, at the end of the day, the way I did it, and I don't like to say I did it the right or the wrong way, but I just did it the healthy way, I think. I started to slowly change behavior. You know, at one point I was like, I need help. So I went into a big box gym, one of the ones we used to work at, and just like, I need a trainer. So it started there. I was probably 21 or 22, I'm 38 now. And that's where it started, slowly but surely, started getting basic educated and making behavior changes. And I've always been like to be athletic and play basketball and tennis, but I got to a point where I couldn't really do it anymore because I was so just big and immobile and hurting. And so I started to be able to incorporate little things like that back into my life that were fun, getting educated. And then one of the biggest things is I found great people. Like, I found a tribe of, I've had probably 3 or 4 trainers in my life total, and they've given me so much that was one of the biggest reasons I got into this whole thing. Is like, wow, I would not be here without some awesome people. Like, no joke, I would be a whole different ballgame.
And I think we all have to thank the people that got us here. I had a lot of mentors along the way that helped me find my path forward. And I think it's really important.